Hey YouTube, Townhouse Gardener here. It is Cinco de Mayo. It is May 5th, 2013. It's been a little over a week since my last update, so just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm probably going to have a few of them today. But anyway, as far as the bone meal and blood meal, I put that on probably about 3 weeks ago. And I don't know if you can tell, but everything is just massive since I've done that. My lettuce is huge. That's my romaine on the edges, the side ones. This one, right here, is smaller just because I didn't really realize it, but it has like 3 different plants there. And then these ones were all one plant. This is showing how important it is to thin your plants, because it crowded itself. So instead of getting these huge plants like this, I got 3 little ones, which you can see I already took one off and I ate it, which it tasted really good. It's still good, but it's just not as good as what it could be. And then the butter crunch lettuce, onions are all doing great. Some of them are starting to get some size to them, and I cut some of the tops off, if you can see that too. I really like them in my salads. So, anyway, my Brussels sprouts I did put some stuff on those, but they were getting destroyed by caterpillars. Stupid cabbage worms. And actually, you can see a dead one. See if it focuses. Right there. There's a dead one for you. But anyway, I gotta go and pick him off. But my strawberries here are doing great. The leaves are a lot bigger than what I thought they were going to be, especially the first year. I thought they wouldn't get big until next year. But anyway, here's this blackberry plant. Not doing so hot, but it's still there, so we'll see. My peppers are all doing good. I've actually on my cayenne pepper plant right here, I had a couple cayennes on it already, but I want it to focus more on the root growth and the actual plant instead of producing. Like over here, you can see it on the top. I have a couple other flowers that are coming, so I need to go and cut those off. My tomato plants, I'm definitely going to make sure that next year all my plants are done from me and not being bought, because this one here and this one were both bought from just a local nursery around here. Not that the plants aren't good, but this one I grew from seed. It's an heirloom, and these two are not heirloom. They're just normal cherry tomatoes. I don't believe they're heirloom. And then this one over here is Gypsy, which I grew from seed, which that one was a little stunted, but like this cherry tomato, I've been picking off flowers just that way it can get bigger, and now it's close to 2 feet tall, so I'm probably going to let it start producing soon. But anyway, this raspberry plant hasn't done a thing. I just have some weeds around it which I have to pull. My potatoes are doing fine. Oh well, 2 out of the 3 are doing good. My peppers here are doing just fine. I've really been surprised, mainly with my lettuce, my strawberries, and my tomatoes and stuff, about how well this bone meal and blood meal did. It really seemed, a lot of my peppers were really starting to yellow, weren't very big, and it just seemed like they just did so much better once I put that on. So, and there is my cucumbers in the back, Sumter on the right half, and pickle bush on the left half. I have to build a trellis for these, which I'm going to show you guys a little glimpse of. This potato is definitely by far my best one. It's just huge. My other tomatoes back here, these were all ended up being bought. Mine just didn't pan out. I found out that my lighting was bad for the seed starting, and it just wasn't bright enough. I was using plant and aquarium lights because that's what I thought I should be using, but apparently they were only like 40-watt bulbs, so I wasn't getting nearly enough light in my office. That's why my plants, in comparison to everybody else I saw, were just so small. So, but you live and you learn. It was my first year, and that's okay. So anyway, this bucket here, as you can see, I have very little growth. I think I showed it the last time, but this one completely got rotted because I put these grass clippings on top. It kept the water so well that it ended up just rotting the plant. So I took that off thinking that it was probably just dead, and now all this new growth is coming. So I don't know if this bucket is going to be able to bounce back, if it is just going to be all rotted inside, but I figured just let it go. It doesn't really matter. I think these two are going to be doing real good, so if I get any potatoes out of this, it's a bonus. If not, it's okay. My basil plants here, if anybody has any advice, I have some spots on the leaves, not on all of them, but on some of them. I have to come out and prune these, harvest some of it. I want to make some pesto, but they're just starting to get pretty tall, especially in comparison to what they were. And let me see, my oregano's great, rosemary's good, my cilantro is just booming. So I really need to do something with that too. Let me see what else. This plant here, or this bed here, this is where I planted 4 rows of beans, and some of them are finally starting to come up. It's been about a week. It's been pretty cool though, so that's why I figured they hadn't come up yet. It is now May 5th, and it's only like maybe 60 degrees outside. It is not warm at all. My soybeans here are doing fine. I've never grown them before. I don't really know what they're supposed to do, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Over here, my peas, I am very excited about my peas. I know that this is my second time growing them. My first time, if you guys remember, that I planted them all the way across this bed. They got above the fence. They just grew so tall, and I was so excited thinking I was going to get so much from them. And they ended up flowering after, I don't know, they're supposed to be done in like 85 days or 90 days. It took 6 months before they started to flower. And then once they flowered, they stayed at flower stage for like 3 weeks, and then it snowed and killed everything. So I was so disappointed. I didn't get anything. But now, after these have only been in here a little bit, they're only about 1.5 feet tall, I got flowers all over them. So I know it's the little things for me. This is what makes me keep wanting to go and keep wanting the garden. It's just because I can't wait to eat these. And so anyway, there's my excitement about my peas. But my squash plant is getting big. This one was from seed that I planted out. So it's doing really good. My single carrot there is doing great too. It's getting real big. It's just, I'm learning a whole lot between this carrot, between my lettuce over there, just about how important it is to space your plants, to thin them out. It's just, in my beans here, it's just so important that either you can get tons of little ones, or you can get a bunch of big ones, or not as many plants, but overall your harvest is going to be way better. So anyway, here's this, my watermelon plant. It's just been so cold. I got seeds that have germinated, they're coming up. True leaves are coming out. It's just been cold. All my plants that I planted here in the walkway have pretty much died. Like they all, let me see, like you can't even really see it through the mulch because the stem doesn't have leaves on it anymore. The 4 tomato plants right there where the white spoons are, they're doing alright, but they haven't grown. So they're still exactly the same size. So I don't know if anything's going to happen from them. My squash plants here are doing fine. This one and this one I did from seed. This one I did all of them from seed, but this one was a transplant from my office. So the ones that I planted directly into the ground were way better. So just note this up for future. just don't even try starting them inside. It's not really worth it. Just wait and plant the seeds outside. In my boxes, my spinach is doing amazing. I've harvested from it so many times. It tastes so good. It tastes way better than the stuff I bought in the store. So, and then I have some volunteer Swiss chard plants coming up from last year, along with, of course, I think I've showed it, my lettuce. That all of this lettuce came up just voluntarily from last year. So I've just let it grow because I'm going to eat it. So I've been picking at it little by little, but I'm really excited about that. Over here, my lettuce is starting to come up. My sunflowers are all doing great. I got to transplant these today. They're just getting too tall for them to stay right in here. I don't know if it's going to work with a transplant, but we'll see how it goes. My loofah plant is the same way. They are way too crowded. It's way too much. So I got to get those out as well. My rocket arugula never did anything. That's a wash, but that's okay. Let's go out to the side. So everything here is really where I saw a lot of growth too, from the blood meal and bone meal. Like my lettuce plants finally took off. My kale and broccoli plants are all like a foot tall now in comparison to where they were only a few inches before. And some of them are even, like my cabbage is starting to head up on some of them. Not all, but some of them. So that's real good. This zucchini plant never panned out. This one has got a few true leaves on it, which is good. And this one as well. So those two are doing alright. This one more so. It looks a whole lot greener, just deeper color than the one right over here. So, but anyway, it's doing good. My sunflowers right here really didn't do anything. I planted seeds all the way across. Nothing came up except for this little one right here. So out of those seeds that I got, I really didn't like them. The germination rate was horrible on them. In the back, I didn't really have, I planted that box of other sunflowers. I planted, I don't know, maybe 10 seeds and I had one come up. In here I planted probably 15 and only one came up. So, but the lemon head ones are doing great. And my beans here are all doing fine. My lilies, all from bulbs. So this plant, I really love this one. Honestly, I can't remember what it's called. I know that's bad, but I blame it on I've only been gardening about a year and a half. And yeah. So here is my next project. And by the way, I know I say too much, but I'm learning. So I'm going to try not to. But here's my next project. And I'm going to walk back into the back. Because what I'm going to do, those tomatoes and peppers are going to need support. They need something. So I'm going to go and build a kind of like just a trellis form to where it's going to be about 8 feet tall, have cables going across it, and have string coming down to support each one of these plants in here. It's going to be more of a permanent structure, but that's okay because I was looking, and even I can either do bamboo to support all this, or I can do just better cages, but it would end up costing, I don't know, like over $100, maybe $150 or something, to get all the cages, all the stakes that are actually going to be worth it, that are going to last. And even because I'm doing square foot gardening method, if I put cages on them, they can only be 12-inch round, or else I'm not going to be able to fit them. And the 12-inch round ones only go up to like 3 foot tall. So I don't know how tall these plants are going to get, but I would like to give them the opportunity to grow tall if they can. So, and here is a rain barrel that I got for free, that it's already set up, that I'm going to hook to my gutter coming down, and I'm going to use these blocks to help lift it. Trying to use what I already have. The other thing, I'm going to try and do weekly fertilizer. So I have a bucket that I originally had for my compost, but I set it up this morning, just filled it with water, and then now it's just bubbling because it is city water, and has just the normal city chlorine in it. So I'm going to let it bubble until tomorrow, and then I'm going to put the compost, molasses, and I have some fish fertilizer, I think, or something like that. I'm still new to this too, so. But anyway, this is a 20 gallons, so it'll be plenty for me to do a treatment for my back and side. I probably won't even have to dilute it. I can, but I probably won't even have to. And then I'll probably just try and do this once a week. And then once this rain barrel is set up, I'll use the water from that rather than city water. So it'll save me money, and it'll be better in general for the plants. So I'm going to set up the rain barrel now, and then I'm going to start working on my trellis. So I am going to do other update videos, but thank you for watching, and stay tuned for future episodes. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.